June this year was my absolute biggest month for dividends. Now, July and August have not been quite at that same sort of level, but in this video, we're going to go over all the dividends that I received over the course of the last 2 months and see how we're looking. Also going to zoom out a little bit and have a look at all of the dividends I've received since I started investing 3.5 years ago now, how it's tracking, what the trend looks like, and how that might transpire in the future. So to recap, in June, on my £45,000 portfolio, I got £275 in dividends. That was across 7 businesses and 6 ETFs. As I said, that's the most I've ever received. Now, I don't just have a dividend portfolio. My portfolio is made up of dividend stocks, ETFs, growth stocks, speculative stocks, the whole lot. So my strategy is kind of a mixed bag, really. I did, however, get this comment on my last video, and it said £45,000 invested for £275 does not seem like a lot. Can someone explain? Well, Avatar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, S. What I can tell you is that it might not seem a lot, and I kind of get that, 275 across a portfolio of 45,000. Well, the reality is I get dividends every single month. So that June dividend payment month was just 1 month. Now, I don't get that much every month, but over the course of 2023, I'll get I'm projecting to get about £1,000, and that will work out at about 2.2% yield. Now, obviously, clearly, that's nowhere near inflation. If inflation's 10, 12, 15%, whatever the hell it is these days, we're losing money, surely. Well, no, because this is the beauty of dividend investing, compounding. Those dividends that I receive get reinvested straight back into those businesses. And yes, while I am at the beginning of my journey of this, 3 years in, I have a longer term approach in terms of my investing, and in the longer term, it will snowball. It will compound. So £275 seems a lot to me now. In 10 years, it won't seem like a lot at all, because hopefully I'll be earning 10 times that. So from your perspective of 275 versus a 45,000 portfolio, I get it, but it's a longer term game, and those numbers will snowball, and they will soon be very tasty numbers indeed. Now, the portfolio that I use is trading 2 and 2. It is pretty much the best one out there as far as I'm concerned at the moment. I'll put a link below. Feel free to use that if you want. You'll get a free share. If you use that link, I will too, in the interest of transparency, but of course it helps to support the channel. Anyway, starting with dividends, the first one I got in June was the old faithful, where is he, Realty Income. So Realty Income, I got £5.32 from them in June. This is a monthly paying dividend, of course. It's the only one that I have that is a monthly paying dividend. Most businesses don't pay monthly in reality. There are some bonds, there are some REITs that do as well, retail-based funds, but in reality, there's not many that do. Yield on this bad boy at the moment, 5.45%. So don't forget, whatever you hold, divide that by 100 times 5.45, divide that by 12, and that will give you your monthly dividend payment. If it's quarterly, they pay every quarter instead of every month, so you divide it by 4 instead of dividing it by 12. So that's how it works. Market cap for Realty Income is just short of £40 billion. They've got a revenue of £3.34 billion, and the quarterly earnings are due on the 31st of October. So I'm down a bit. Where am I? Just short of 8% down into this business. We'll see what the earnings do. I'm not concerned in the slightest. This is around compounding. This is around that monthly dividend and growing that bad boy into a beast. The second and I'm afraid final dividend for June 2023 was PepsiCo. So what have I got? I've got about £1,460 into Pepsi. I'm 6.2% up. We have got a dividend yield of 2.86%. So this is not a massive dividend yield, but not all dividends need to be big, because this is around identifying value. So we don't want to be having a lot of our investments into high-paying dividends. There's significant risk associated with that. This is my lower ones, one of my lower ones, and I'm hoping is going to grow, and my yield on cost will grow over time. Market cap, $243 billion. So this is a big boy. This is a big boy. Pepsi is a massive business. Sometimes we don't appreciate the size of it. It's not far off. I think last time I looked, Coca-Cola was about $400 billion. So it's not far off those numbers. $90 billion in terms of revenue. Pepsi, in the month of June, paid me £5.32. So that gives me a grand total for the month of £13.86. So clearly nowhere near the numbers we were looking at for June. So July was what it was. Don't have that many dividend businesses, and I'm not going to start bringing some into my portfolio just so that I can have bigger months where there are quieter months. Just the nature of it. Now, if you are interested in doing some research into US businesses, My favorite platform is Seeking Alpha. I'm going to put a link for that below for you. The 7-day free trial if you use that link, and there's also $50 off a 12-month subscription. So you won't get either of those things if you Google it. You'll only get it for that link. As far as I'm concerned, it is the best US analytics platform there is. I use it for all of my tracking of all my portfolio, which you can do in there. It tells you when all your dividends are coming. It also helps you to find some new businesses. If you're looking for new businesses, some good tips in there. So there's a link for that below if you're interested. So August now, and I know we're already still in August, but I don't anticipate getting any more dividends this month. I will get one actually, which is due to be paid last day of August. That's Unilever, but I'm with Trading 2 and 2, and they always take a few days to get their dividends paid out. So it's not going to come. It's not going to come until September in reality. So got 2 again in August. So still, again, not massive amount of dividends being paid in August. September is going to be another big one. September is going to be another big one similar to June. It's tracking it around about, looking like it's going to be around about the similar sort of numbers. Don't forget, every dividend I get as well, I reinvest straight back into that business so that we get that beautiful, beautiful compounding. So first up in August, we have got Apple. Apple is one of my largest holdings. It's the first business I ever bought, and it was the first dividend I ever got. 20 pence back in February 2020. So that really got me started into investing into dividend businesses. Been dripping into it ever since. Got 17.7 shares into Apple now, just tracking at short of 30% up. Unrealized gains, of course. Now look at this number. Market cap 2.75 trillion. That's absolutely enormous. 2.75 trillion dollars, of course. And the revenue is coming in at $394 billion. Insane. They hold an insane amount of cash. They are an extremely successful business. They are one of the shining lights in my portfolio, one of the few absolute shining lights in my portfolio. Everyone keeps thinking it's got no more room to grow, but it just keeps doing it. So dividend yield at 0.55%. And even though I hold £2,500, because the yield is so low, I got a payment of just £2.84. And don't forget, with US businesses as well, you pay 15% tax, which you don't see. It happens in the background automatically. So I lost 15% of my £2.84. Now, big event, September 12th, they're going to be launching the new iPhone 15. It's going to have a new chip. It's going to have a significantly, so they claim, improved camera, slightly larger on the Max. So we'll see how that does. Always seems to create a bit of a stir, and we'll see what that does to the stock price. So £2.84 for Apple. And the second business I got in August was, of course, Realty Income, because it's monthly. And what I got from Realty Income was £5.69. So this one, as you saw the month before, I got £5.32, £5.69 this month. It continues to go up. And that's because I'm reinvesting those dividends, and that's because, of course, as well, I'm dripping into it as well. Now, all of this being considered, I want to see what it's done to my tracker. So I track every single business that I own and ETF that pays a dividend. I do it on this tracker right here. As you can see, over July, there's the 2 dividends I just mentioned. Over August, there's the 2 dividends I just mentioned. Nothing in terms of ETFs over the course of that month. And we've got total down at the bottom here, which I've just quoted to you guys. But also this number at the bottom, I've mentioned this before. Stole this off Paul Briscoe. Go check him out if you want. He's got a great YouTube channel. And what this is it's that dividend value split over the course of a month, if that was your paycheck. So split over 37 hours a week, 4 weeks in a month. If the only money you received was dividends, you can see in July, I would have got 9 pence an hour. In August, I would have got 5 pence an hour. Now, June, £1.69. It's not bad. It's not far off my first job as a waiter back in, Christ, when was it? 2001, something like that. Didn't pay very well back then. But that gives you an understanding. If you were to retire right now, that's what you'd be earning. Now, that puts me, over the course of this year, a grand total of £512. We're tracking it so far. Don't forget, we've got a big month coming up in September, as I mentioned. And £512 is more than I earned already in 2022. Look at 2022, 470 right there. 2021, 156. 2020, 66. Now, when you look at all of that in terms of a chart, what it's done is this. So this is all of those dividends charted month by month. And as we can see, it really has started to pick up. Now, the first few years, the first couple of years at least, you're earning less than £10 majority of months. Then you have these spikes with these businesses that you own. And there's that big June spike right there. Love to see it. Dropped right back down again for July and August. September is going to be straight back up there again. I anticipate, as I mentioned before, probably getting around about £1,000 in dividends over the course of this year. So that will end up being double what it was last year, which was double what it was the previous year, which was double what it was the previous year. Do that every month and I'd be pretty happy. So I'm relatively happy with this graph and how it's looking. Portfolio is down, of course. It's been all over the place for the last 3 months or so, but those dividends keep on dripping in. Now, don't forget those links for Trading 212 if you want to use that platform below. Also, Seeking Alpha if you're interested in improving your investment game. Check them out. I'm also going to link right now to this video where I go through all of those investments that I did get in June so you can see what they all were and what they look like. Thanks for watching.